Good evening. Here is the world news from BGI TV, Baba Bagede Imo TV. I am yours faithfully, Moriwe Rebila Lawal. What are the major headlines for the world news? Tinubu planted some seeds. It is time to harvest it. Primate Ayodele. Representatives refused to sit as a speaker angrily adjourned the plenary. Lawyers warn that the FG's disobedience to court orders is dangerous. On the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, one person, a trace patrol motorcycle, and 3 other trucks were burned beyond recognition. Court remands 4 boys who beheaded 20-year-old girl, Sofiat, in Ogun. Police parade suspected kidnap syndicate terrorizing Onigari. Police busts OBJ drug cartel, recover cocaine, tramadol, loud orders in Delta. Troops neutralize 3 kidnappers, recover hands, and to forest story. World first malaria vaccine making inroads in Western Kenya. And to sport. Salah set to equal Okocha's goals record. Now the news in detail. The leader of INRI, Evangelical Spiritual Church, Primate Elijah Ayodele, on Wednesday warned the presidential aspirant and national leader of the All Progressive Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, concerning his political career. According to NigeriaNoted.com.ng, Primate Ayodele said in a statement signed by his media aide, Osho Oluwatosin, that Tinubu had planted some seeds which the time has come to harvest it. Tinubu has planted some seed and it's time to harvest it. Unfortunately, they are not palatable seeds and they are about to come after him, as Nemesis said Primate Ayodele. He said the chieftain of APC would be betrayed by those he brought up. He will be betrayed by those he brought up and see his past coming to haunt him in APC. In his political journey, he had hijacked power from some leaders and the same thing is going to happen to him in APC, said Primate Ayodele. The clergyman said further that Tinubu should not bother to struggle for the soul of his political career and that law of karma will apply to his political life. It is only God's mercy that can save him, Tinubu, from what is going to befall him, Primate Ayodele concluded. Lawmakers at the House of Representatives failed to sit on Thursday after Speaker of the House, Femi Gbadagbiamila, angrily adjourned plenary till next week. The Speaker, who arrived at the chamber around 11:20 a.m., furiously adjourned plenary over the absence of order paper. He was also unhappy with the clerk of the House for not being in his seat when he arrived. The chamber was scanty at the time the Speaker got in, with few chambers seated. What kind of thing is this? The Speaker arrived at the chamber at about 11:20 a.m., which for many is slightly early than the usual commencement time for plenary, even though plenary is scheduled to commence at 11 a.m. The other paper is a program schedule that dictates the proceedings of the plenary. As part of their early deliberations, members of the House of Representatives on Wednesday moved to investigate the alleged unfair recruitment process into the National Social Investment Trust Fund, NSITF, by the Ministry of Labour and Employment. In a motion by Representative Ismail Tijani, he alleged undue favoritism for persons from one particular part of the country into the agency. According to the lawmaker, the House is worried that the minister's alleged reign of impunity across the ministries and agencies under his supervision has continued unabated, despite engagement and interventions by the National Assembly. A recent report by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, revealed that since inauguration in 2015, the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has disobeyed many court judgments. During the public presentation of the report, SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oludare, highlighted some of the court judgments which his organization had secured against the federal government, but which no action has been taken to implement. According to him, the first of such judgment is the judgment by Justice Adiza Shagari, delivered on July 5, 2017, ordering the federal government to tell Nigerians about the stolen asset it allegedly recovered with details of the amount recovered. The second judgment by Justice Mohammed Idris on February 26, 2016, ordered the federal government to publish details on the spending of stolen funds recovered by successive governments since the return of democracy in 1999. The third judgment by Justice Oluremi Oguntoyinbo on November 26, 2019, ordered the federal government to challenge the legality of state pension laws permitting former governors now serving as ministers and members of the National Assembly to collect such pensions and to recover pensions already collected by them. The fourth judgment by Justice Mohammed Idris on May 28, 2018, ordered the federal government to prosecute senior lawmakers suspected of padding and stealing 481 billion naira from the 2016 budget and to widely publish the report of investigation into the alleged padding of the 2016 budget. Aside from the judgments enumerated by Sarah, the federal government has also demonstrated a similar attitude towards other judgments and orders of the court. For instance, on many occasions, the federal government refused to release former National Security Advisor, NSA, Sambo Dasuki, after the court had granted him bail. The federal government also refused to obey court orders granting bail to Ibrahim El-Zakizaki, leader of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, IMN, and willfully disregarded the rule of law by continuing to detain him long after the court granted him bail. The federal government, in another instance, disobeyed the orders of the Federal High Court in Abuja on the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu's bail and access by his legal team and family members. Justice Binta Inyako had to question the Department of State Service, DSS, to sort this regard at a time, yet the situation remained the same. Given insight of the implications of the federal government's continued disobedience to court judgments, Oludare warned the country stands at a dangerous point if such action is allowed to continue. And so many other cases like that of Sunday Igboho. Another troubling one coming from the world news, a patrol motorcycle belonging to Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency in Ogun State, Trace, 3 other trucks was reported to have burnt beyond repair in a fatal accident inbound Ibadan off Lagos-Ibadan Expressway today, 2nd of February 2022, around 6 a.m. of Tuesday morning, a few days back. The crash involves 3 trucks and a patrol bike belonging to Trace Ogere Divisional Command, a tanker landing truck with no registration number, a broken-down man diesel truck with no registration number, a DAF truck that parked at the roadside, 4 patrol bikes belonging to Trace Ogere Divisional Command. The cause of the accident, according to Ogunride OS DC Ogere, Trace was dangerous driving on the path of the patrol laden truck which rammed onto the stationary faulty truck, according to operatives at the scene of the accident. Meanwhile, the burnt beyond recognition victims was taken away by FRSC to Idera Hospital Morgue, Shagamu, while firefighters were contacted at the Jaguar for full evacuation. Traffic affected, and the traffic has been diverted to inbound Lagos from Shagamu interchange. Four boys who allegedly taken off head of Sophia Okeowo last Saturday have been remanded on the order of an Abeokuta magistrate court on Thursday. The boys, Mustakim Balogun 20, Soliu Madekodomi 18, Abekofal Lukman 19, and Waris Oladende 19, were charged by the police on the 2-count charge of conspiracy and murder. The police prosecutor, Inspector Lawrence Balogun, told the court that the defendant committed the offense on January 28 at about 11 p.m. at the Kuba area in Abeokuta. Balogun alleged that the defendant conspired among themselves and murdered Sophia Okeowo, who is a girlfriend to one of the defendants, Solimdin. He said the defendant killed her by cutting off her head with a cutlass. According to the prosecutor, the defendant murdered Sophia with a plan to use her for a morning ritual. The prosecutor said that the offense committed contravenes section 234, 316 of the Criminal Code Laws of Ogun 2016. I beg your pardon, 2006. The magistrate I.O. Abdu, who did not take the plea of the defendant, ordered that they should be remanded at Oba Correctional Service, pending the legal advice from the director of Ogun State Public Prosecution. The Oyo State Police Command has paraded suspected kidnappers terrorizing Onigari, Ibadan, Lagos Expressway. The suspects were paraded by the State Commissioner of Police, CP Ngozi Onodeko, at around 11:30 a.m. on Thursday at the command headquarters, Eleyele, Ibadan. Some of the suspects paraded confessed to the crime. The police in Delta State have smashed a drug syndicate popularly known as the OBJ cartel, recovering 55 wraps of substance suspected to be cocaine. Other exhibits recovered include 40 packets of 100 milligram tramadol, 89 wraps of weed suspected to be Indian hemp, 4 sachets of swinol, and 3 containers of lard. In a statement by the State Police Public Relations Officer, DSP Bright Edafe, on Thursday, the drugs were recovered when the command surveillance team raided a black spot in Okwechi quarters, Eku in Ethiopia East Council area of the state, during which one 24-year-old Larry Odefon was arrested. The suspect, who claimed to be a fashion designer, was arrested while other suspects took to their heels. On interrogation, the suspect claimed that the cartel was owned by one of the fleeing suspects named OBJ. Meanwhile, the police, after raiding a hideout at Agbo, Delta State, arrested 25 male suspected cultists. Some of the suspects have already confessed to being members of Black Axe Confraternity and Junior Supreme Anglican Fraternity, the statement added. Moving on, the Nigerian story still on crime. Troops of 4 Brigade Nigerian Army NA, acting on credible intelligence, have taken out 3 kidnappers who are believed to be part of the notorious kidnap robbery gang terrorizing the ever-busy Auchi-Bini Road in Edo State. The kidnappers met their Waterloo on Wednesday while on their nefarious operation along the axis. They ran out of luck when the vigilant troops swooped in on them, engaging them in a gun duel that led to the elimination of 3 members of the gang, while others fled in different directions. Army spokesman Brigadier General Onyema Onwachukwu explained in a brief statement that the gallant troops recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 1 pump-action shotgun, and other dangerous weapons. Meanwhile, efforts are ongoing to track the fleeing criminals and free up that corridor from all forms of violent crime. The Army, through its spokesman, enjoined the general public, particularly the people of Edo State, to continue to expose criminal elements in their localities to law enforcement agencies. They were also urged to go about their normal activities without panic, as efforts are in place to ensure seamless security. And now to foreign story. Lucy Akinyi's 3 children were infected with malaria so often she would be at their local health clinic in Western Kenya every other week getting them treated. When offered the chance to protect our children with the world's first vaccine against the deadly parasitic disease, Akinyi jumped at the chance. More than 100,000 children in malaria-endemic Western Kenya have received the new vaccine against the disease, which kills 260,000 children under 5 years in sub-Saharan Africa. A pilot program has been rolling out the groundbreaking drug, which was 30 years in the making in Kenya, Ghana, and Malawi since 2019. It was approved for broad use for children in sub-Saharan Africa and other at-risk regions by the World Health Organization (WHO) in October last year. For Akinyi and her extended family, the vaccine has worked wonders. She would always place mosquito net over her children while they slept, but despite our best efforts, they would still get bitten outside while playing. We used to have a lot of malaria in our home. We could be at the hospital 3 times in a month, Akinyi said, but none of our children have tested positive for malaria since being vaccinated. She said, bringing her great comfort living in a region where the disease is the major killer. Our sister-in-law, Millicent Akot Oyaya, decided to get her own children jabbed after seeing the benefit it brought her niece and nephews. And lastly, sports story. Mohamed Salah could equal or surpass Austin Okocha's goal record at the Africa Cup of Nations tournament when the 2 most successful sides in the history of the tournament, Cameroon and Egypt, go head-to-head for a place in the final on Thursday, today. The game built for the Olembe Stadium in Yaoundé is a repeat of the 2017 African Cup of Nations final, with the indomitable Lions won by a lone goal. Salah, who has scored twice and made 1 assist so far in the competition in Cameroon, has totaled 6 goals in 15 games and 3 tournament appearances. The Liverpool forward is 1 goal shy of the former Nigerian captain's record. Okocha scored 7 goals in 22 games and 5 tournament appearances for the Eagles. Other players who have scored 7 goals at the tournament are Osei Kofi, Ghana, Ali Gresha, Egypt, Roger Miller, Cameroon, Tehar Abu Zayed, Egypt, Abedi Pele, Ghana, Benny McCarthy, South Africa, Flavio, Angola, Christopher Katongo, Zambia, and Frederick Kanote, Mali. Cameroon captain Vincent Abubakar who is currently the top scorer at this year's AFCON with 6 goals from 5 games, could also equal the goal record of duo Osem Hassan and Benny Makati. The duo was joint top scorer at the 1998 AFCON in Burkina Faso with 7 goals. That was the world news from BGI TV. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Tinubu planted some seeds. It's time to harvest it. Primate Ayodele. We also brought to you representatives refuse to sit as the speaker annually adjourns the plenary. Lawyers warn that the FG's disobedience to court orders is dangerous. We also brought to you on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, one person, a trace petrol motorcycle, and 3 other trucks were burned beyond recognition. Court remands 4 boys who took off the head of Sophia in Ogun. Police parade suspected kidnap syndicate terrorizing Onigari. Police bust OBJ drug cartel, recover cocaine, tramadol, loud, others in Delta. We also brought to you troops neutralize 3 kidnappers, recover arms, and to foreign. World first malaria vaccine making inroads in Western Kenya, and to sports story. Salah set to equals or coaches goals record. That was the news for BGI TV. For more updates on our YouTube channel, the handle is Bagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell for updates. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page to enable you access our broadcast. On Instagram, Bagede Imo _22. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of event and function, the phone number streaming on your screen is the direct number to call for advert placements. We appreciate you for always being part of BGI TV family. I am yours faithfully, Moriwe Rebila Lawal. Good evening.